Hello out there, worlds. So, how's it going, everybody? This is me, Brian Sapinski, here at our old Learn Math channel. We're ready for our second live stream for for this fourth week of distance learning. It is Thursday, April 9th, 2020. I'm here doing it today instead of my originally planned day on Friday, again because of tomorrow being Good Friday. I figured give you a chance to see it before we get caught up in Easter and Passover whatnots or whatever. So just well, yep, that's pretty much it. Okay, you know how this works. Okay, if you're here in the live chat, if you want a topic done, come. There it is right there. Submit right there. I'm watching the live chat to see if anybody wants anything done there. Me and Brianna are right here, ready to go. Or brian.sapinski@gmail.com. Send it to me there as well. My phone is ready on standby, so I could see it over there. Before we get too far into things, I know that Tuesday's stream got very splotchy again and stuff like that. Didn't mean for it. So I just want to real quick, particularly with the trig stuff, I just wanted to repost and just make a couple of questions again, just so you can see it a little quick before things got a little messed up. These two right triangles were an example of a couple of the things that we had going on during that discussion. So we talked about when you're solving for the angle in a right triangle, given two of the sides, you look at what positions that they're in. For instance, in this one, the 6 is opposite from where the x is, and the 7's in the hypotenuse position. So according to the old SOHCAHTOA, OH for opposite hypotenuse means it's a sine setup. So this would be your equation. And then if you're trying to solve for the angle, that means you have to reverse the trig by using the -1 function of the sine. So if you typed in sine -1 of 6/7, making sure your calculator is in degree mode, you would get, in this case, it would round out to about 59.0 degrees. And if the numbers are in a slightly different location, then you adjust accordingly. So if the 6 were down here instead in the adjacent position, that would mean adjacent hypotenuse AH would be C, so that would be a cosine instead, and you'd have to do this reversal and see what that would come out to. And just for fun, I'll see where it goes. I think mommy wants to gaze on. Oh, tell her have do here. Just tell her. She'll know. Okay, so let's just see real fast here what that comes out to. So cosine -1 of 6/7. And okay, so that comes out to, it's pretty much the opposite. It comes out to about 31 degrees, or whatever the case is. And everything adjusts accordingly from there and stuff like that. So in a case like this, all right, now if you're solving for a missing side or whatever, okay, so we talked about ones where the x is on the top and where the x is on the bottom. So you have x, so from where the 50 degrees is, x is in the opposite position, 8 is in the adjacent position. So opposite adjacent OA, that's a tangent. So we set up tan 50 equals x/8. So then to solve for x, this is a division. You get rid of it with a multiplication. You times 8 to both sides. And so now you have this. We just type this in as normal, and we get a measurement of about 9.5. And if the x is on the bottom instead, like what if these were backwards? What if the 8 was over here and the x was over there? Then the fraction looks like this. And then what happens is that you have to solve it by multiplying the x out from under, bring it over to the other side. But now you have a multiplication here. To get rid of that, you would have to divide tangent over to the other side.
What's up?
And essentially what happens is compared to the original set, compared to the original sentence, everything traded places. So now where you started with 8 over x, you now have 8 over tan 50.
I can't tell what.
So
I couldn't tell what you were
story
saying.
there.
Did you want the Jello?
No. So 8 divided by tan 50 in this case would give you a measurement of about 6.7 when rounded off. Okay, so there's a recap of everything. That's how it should all look. So hope that all makes sense to you, and enjoy on the trig.
Is it okay that I brought this up because you said that I should? I don't know.
Oh, you want to show off the drawing real fast? Well, here, because I think the last time you went to show the drawing, I think, again, because I think a couple of that splotched a little bit the other day too. You want to just show off, just see what, do the white, do the white one, because, or do something on the white because it's going to be easier to see.
No.
So, anyway. All right. Okay, so so we got a couple people in there. I know one of them is Mommy, of course, because she likes to support us. Please support us. Throw a thumbs up if you enjoy what we're doing. And
I made this for Halloween last year. I don't know.
Well, it's very dark in there, but I like it. It's very nice. Look at how nice.
There's a Halloween update in Adopt Me.
Look at how nice her.
Look
at how nice her work is and stuff like that. I don't know how well you could read the names of everything there and stuff like that. I see Evil Unicorn. I'm trying to read these backwards. Evil Unicorn, zombie what? Oh, zombie buffalo. The Bat Dragon and Red Panda and flying up there, Raven Unicorn up there, and what's that pumpkin? I can't see that. What does that say? Oh, Happy Adopt Me Halloween. I don't even want to know what that is. Okay.
No, that was the update. There's a Halloween update.
But she does very good work. If you like nothing else, throw a support just for that alone. Okay. She's been very good in making that artwork, making our unofficial mascots, the smileys or whatever. So we'll figure all that. All right. Okay. Let's have a little bit of fun while we're waiting for topics. Yeah, no. If anybody watching, if you wanna, if you got a math topic you want us to do, let us know. While we're waiting, and I do have something I do want to test with you for my discrete. But first, I want to start. I want to have a little game fun with you. Again, I want to break out one of the simpler games from back in the days of Square One TV, because that was coming up in discussion the other day. So I want to just talk about it again. Okay, so I want to get a little, but who's multiplying?
Look, it's us. It's people giving us topics. Look, it says topic.
Yay!
Giving it to us. So we're happy.
Exactly.
If the person's confused.
Yes, give us topics to do. It does make us happy here, folks.
Yes, and
so please come on.
Like,
yes, come on by. Keep us company. Yeah. Let us educate you and entertain you, and you do the same for us, okay? Because, like I said, we appreciate. What are you doing?
Oh no!
Calm yourself.
Oh, no.
Calm yourself. Just relax, okay? Yeah, I could tell.
I think this is the dead marker. No, never mind.
Okay, so all right, I gotta make sure. Okay, I gotta make sure I don't miss. No, that's not there. Okay, that's there. I'm trying to remember all the numbers here because this is I'm trying to think of all the 1 by 1 to 8 times 9 possibilities and stuff like that. Gonna forget one. Oh jeez. Okay, I've probably skipped something along the way that I wasn't supposed to. 46, 45. I'll explain what it is I'm doing here, folks. I'm trying to set up a 6 by 6 grid that has all the possible products that you could get from 1 times 1 all the way through to 9 times 9. I'm just trying to make sure they're all present there because you need all these in order to be able to play this game that we're about to do. And the setup of the numbers obviously has everything in numerical order. Okay, this was a game that they did in season 1 of the original Square One TV. So this goes all the way back to 1987. It's a very simple game to do, and as I've said before when we talked about game shows from Square One TV, the the fabulous people at Mark Goodson, Bill Tallman Productions, the prolific game show company in the business for many decades or whatever, was actually responsible with helping the Children's Television Workshop and Square One TV create these game show formats that they did, and we're all thankful for it. So, but I'm just trying to make sure that I haven't missed anything in here. I'm gonna make life easy on myself. I'm gonna queue up an example from YouTube because I'm gonna be. It's gonna take me forever to try to remember.
Can you explain?
I'm gonna explain the rules. I just want to see the numbers, and that's the ones I'm missing. Okay, no. Okay, I didn't skip. I was trying to think of which ones I was missing. There it is. Okay, all right. So here.
Can you explain sin?
Explain sign real fast. Okay, all right. Here, before we get into the game. Okay, so I'll show those one more time. Okay, we were talking about the SOHCAHTOA. Okay, we were talking about the SOHCAHTOA. Sine, cosine, tangent. That's what each of these represent. And again, the O's, the A's, and the H's represent where the lengths of the three sides are compared to where the marked angle in the right triangle is located. So in order to be able to have the sine measurement, like I said, S-I-N-E, I think that's what you actually want. Okay, so sine represents that you need to have the opposite side identified by some number of variable and the hypotenuse identified by some number of variable. So if the angle is down here, for instance, with x, unfortunately, I'm going to admit that I can't. That is no. Unfortunately, the languages are not in my wheelhouse whatsoever here. I speak math pretty much. So anyway, so if the angle is here, for instance, or whatever the case is, then okay, the one of the three sides. So like line and this line segment, but it's not connected to this one. That would make this one the opposite.
Look, he's speaking math.
Exactly. Yes. Okay. So this one would be considered the opposite position.
No.
So if there is another. No, relax. No, it's fine. So if there's a number or a variable located.
It can't connect to chat.
No. Don't worry. We're okay. We have not gotten any other indications, however.
Okay,
so,
good.
Okay, so that would be considered the opposite side, and that because it's the only one that's the only line segment that does not make up the angle whatsoever. And then the hypotenuse is always the longest side right there. So if there's a number of variable here and a number of variable there, then you can make an equation that says sine of your angle measurement equals whatever is here, whatever is here. Okay, so that's the way sine works. And the other ones with the cosine and the tangent, they follow accordingly, except they use a different combination of two of the three sides compared to where the angle is. The adjacent would be the one down here. So if you have this one and the hypotenuse, that would be a cosine setup. If you have numbers of variables on the opposite and the adjacent sides here and here in relation to this angle, that would be the tangent equation, and you're good to go. Okay, so all right, here, I'll leave that up there so you could so you got that there for reference. If you need to see some more in between rounds, just let us know. Okay, all right, game time here. All right, so here's the way it works. No, we're still there. I see. Yeah, no, we're still there.
Okay.
Okay, all right. I promise we're still there. Okay, all right. So let's play the game here. All right, so take a look, Brianne. So this is very simply how we play, but who's multiplying. Okay, I'm gonna explain it the same way as
I'm scared.
I'm gonna explain it the same way as Larry Cedar used to do it on the old show. Okay, all right. This is the big board. Now, the object of the game is to be the first to capture 3 squares in a row with your color, either horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. Now, the numbers on the board represent the product that you get when you multiply 2 numbers from the factor board together. So, for example, if there's a ring on the 4 and a ring on the 5, what number can you cover up? 4 times 5.
Oh, 20.
20. Okay, so you would capture 20 like so. Okay, now the first player in
Please get done quick.
What?
Okay, Joey, we're busy.
Is that me?
All right, now the
No,
first player.
sorry.
Now here's what happens. Okay, all right. You want to play red or blue? You want to play red or blue?
Sorry.
Oh, because come
Blue.
on. It's not, okay, all right. Now the first player,
Joey,
and now
no.
all right. Now red goes first in the first round. So here's what happens. The first Joey, come on. Now the first player in each round gets to move.
Coast?
The first player in each round, Brianna gets to place both rings,
What does
and
coast mean?
cosine. Okay.
Oh.
All right, now, Brianna,
No,
listen. Wait, listen.
No. The person asked cosine?
Okay, all right. We'll
Sorry.
okay, we'll get back to. I'll tell you what. Let me do one round of the game. Stick around. We'll get back to the cosine.
On the
in a
device
second.
we're live streaming on, like the chat, like.
Okay,
it's
but
not
she's
connected.
looking on her phone. She could see it. So just hang tight, Hans, and we'll get to you in just a second. All right, now. Okay. I just want to do one round of the game. We'll go back to the trick discussion in between. Okay, now, so Brianna, here's the thing. So if you're playing blue, that means I'm going to go first because red player goes first in the first round. Now I'm going to place both rings on whatever 2 numbers I want, and then I'm going to call out the product and capture that number for myself. After that, you being the blue player, you can only move your ring. Okay, so you move the blue. So you're going to move the blue to a new number and then call it the new product. Then I'll move my red to a new number, and we keep going back and forth just like that, trying to make 3 in a row. Now, you have 15 seconds to Yeah, okay. Yeah, just say. Now you have 15 seconds to move your ring to a new number and call out the new product. If you don't do it in 15 seconds, then you're going to get buzzed for being out of time. Also, if you call out the wrong product or you call a product that's already been captured on the board, then you made a mistake. If you run out of time or you make a mistake, you lose your turn and your opponent gets to move both rings. Okay, so
both rings.
And in other words, they get to reset both the red and the blue things there. Okay.
No.
So all right. So I'll tell you what. Rather than do that or whatever. Okay. So because erasing and replacing is going to take a little bit. So I'm just going to set both markers. Okay. So I'm going to write a number with both of them. So you ready to go? Okay. Then I'll hand the blue marker back to you so we can do our turn. Okay. So here we go. So I'm going to go first, and here we go. But I will take 18. 18 red. Okay, here's your blue. Okay, so you got to change it. So change it to a different number and call it the product.
21.
21 blue. So that. Okay.
Oh no.
All right, let's see. 28.
Oh gosh. Oh no.
Okay.
4 times 6. 24.
24 blue. Okay. Let's
No! Dang it.
42. 42 red.
Dang it.
All right, so I quickly won the first rounds here. It's sometimes it doesn't necessarily go that quick, but it goes that way. All right, okay, all right. I'll tell you. All right, that was a fast round. Okay, Hans, bear with me 1 second.
Please.
I will do another one in a second. I was at least hoping we were going to get more of the simple 5 moves in there. That just happened to be the way the round went there. Okay, so it's best 2 out of 3. So you start this round. I'll give you both markers here. Okay, so you start this one. The board is clear. Ready and go.
6, 3, 18.
18 blue.
Look,
Okay, how's it? Okay. Don't take it too seriously. 27. 27 red.
Oh, no. 5, 45.
45 blue.
Gosh, I don't
Okay.
know what I'm doing.
It's a very nice and fast and simple game. You could easily make this at home and play it along yourself here. So just roll with it. Have some fun. 30 red.
Oh no. 7.
42 blue.
No.
You set me up again. 28 red. I know. There's a little bit of chess to this because you got to sort of try to think ahead and stuff like that. You got to be careful not to trap yourself and set the other person up with what would make a 3 in a row on them. Okay, so I won this 2 out of 3. We'll try again. Hold on. We'll try again in a minute. All right, I'll reset the board. We'll try it again. All right. Okay. Let me get to Hans's question because he was waiting. Okay, he wants to see the cosine again. Okay, so like I said, so cosine. If you look at the SOHCAHTOA, Hans, you could see the AH. Okay, the cosine representing. Okay, so so there's cosine. If I can spell it properly, that is the worst N I've written in a while. Cosine representing the adjacent side and the hypotenuse. So you already know where the hypotenuse is. You already know that that's the long side of the triangle. Okay, the adjacent would be this one down here. It's called the adjacent because it's directly connected to where the angle measurement is supposed to be. It's one of the 2 line segments along with the hypotenuse that makes up the angle measurement. That's how it is that one works there. So as a result, you need numbers or variables in those 2 positions in order to make the cosine equation and fraction. So that's how that one would end up looking. Okay, so that's how that one plays out. And then the tangent, the same kind of thing. The tangent, I'll just show it real quick because why not? Let's just get all 3 in there. Okay, tangent represented by a fraction consisting of the opposite and the adjacent. So this one does not use the hypotenuse at all. It uses the opposite side that the sine did and the adjacent from underneath. It uses the 2 legs. And so then the tangent is made up of the fraction like that. So that's the way that one okay, ADJ adjacent. Yeah, I'll tell you this. Yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah, the concept of adjacent, that seems to initially in a number of cases. Yeah, I noticed that that tends to throw some people off when they're trying to understand that concept, because the general idea of adjacent here. I'll reset the multiplying board in just a minute here because I just want some space to explain the concepts. Thank you very much. Okay, so but just so you understand the idea of adjacent. Okay, adjacent by its definition. Okay, and this is true in and out of math whatsoever. Just so you have an idea, adjacent, always by definition means that something is sitting next to or otherwise connected to something. Okay, so from a geometry standpoint, helps if you can actually read the word, right? Okay, so from a geometry standpoint, we've talked about adjacent in a couple of things already in previous live streams, but just to show it again and stuff like that. So like if you wanted to say, like, let's say if you wanted to call 2 angles adjacent in some capacity, okay? So you see these 2 angles right here. You have angle 1 right here, and you have angle 2 sitting over there. Now, these 2 angles would be considered adjacent because of the fact that they are connected to each other by this ray in between. This ray is a part of the creation of both angles. So as a result, that means that they are holding together next to each other. They're physically connected. That's what makes them adjacent to one another. And what it could then do is that if those two angles are considered adjacent, what it then means is that you could take the measure of the one angle and add the measure of the other angle to it, and it makes the measure of the entire angle picture. So like if angle one was, for instance, 40 degrees, let's say, and angle number two was 60 degrees, that would mean, Brianna, how much would the measure of the entire picture be? If this angle was 40 and this angle was 60, how much is the whole thing? 100. Yeah, so it'd be so the whole thing would be 100 degrees as a result. So from one perspective, that's what adjacent does. Now, the same kind of thing of adjacent meaning next to or connected to, the same thing happens in these right triangles. If the measurement, if the acute angle that's labeled in the right triangle is located right here, this line segment at the bottom would be considered the adjacent side, because like I was explaining before, what happens is that this angle, to make this entire angle space, you need this line segment and you need this line segment. Those two line segments make up the rays for the angle like they traditionally would. Okay, so the idea is that this line segment down here, this is one of the two legs that makes up the right triangle. We call it a leg because it's connected to the right angle. Since this line, yeah, kind of, yes, but there are no arms. Years ago, I had some of my when I was talking about right triangles with a group of honors seventh graders. No, they were talking about, but there's no arms in the right triangle. We have to find the arms. So, and that was a running joke for the whole rest of the year. I used to love that.
Leg.
So,
But where are the arms?
all right, okay, but anyway, but like I said, since this leg of the right triangle is physically part of the making of this angle, that means it physically sits next to it. That means that this would be the adjacent leg. Okay, but now by an alternate stretch, okay, what if instead here? Hang on, yeah, wait, I gotta erase it. Okay. But then, like for instance, what if instead, in terms of trying to find the adjacent, suppose in the right triangle, if the angle were listed up here, if this was where it is, now which leg would be considered adjacent or next to that angle? Which of these two legs is the adjacent one now? Which one of these two legs is physically connected to this angle? That one is, yes. So this one would be the adjacent as a result, okay? And that would therefore make this one the opposite. And the hypotenuse is still where it is. So that's the story there. Okay. So
what is M?
M. M stands for, okay, that's shorthand for the measure of. M is the measure of. So yeah, when you read an angle name, an angle, when you're given the name of an angle, okay, I gotta fix this. This is a little ugly there. So here, bear with me 1 second. Yeah, this symbol is used to represent that an angle exists. Whatever comes after it, whether it be a number like this, or if you have something where they list 3 points for you, something like this or whatever. Okay, so that like this angle we can name, for instance, angle ACP. So that's the symbol that's used to represent the an angle itself, that one exists or whatever. When you put the letter M in front of it, that means that now instead of naming the angle, now you're trying to say, okay, exactly how many degrees wide is that angle supposed to be? So like, for instance, in the example that I've got here, in the example I made here, for instance, for example, with angle 1, I put a 40 degrees there. So you would be saying, if you wanted to put it as a equation sense, you would say the measure of angle 1 equals 40. So that's how you translate that. Okay, so that's the nature of that particular setup there. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Yeah, there's a lot of things that you got to see that when you're first delving into geometry, there's a lot of things that, in terms of the symbolism and the notation, when you see the names of angles, of lines, of segments, and all these other kind of things, that when you're first looking at them, they could be a little bit confusing at the start or whatever. And it's I know it can have a tendency to throw you off. So, and it's very important to try to know what those symbols stand for, like knowing that this represents an angle. If you're looking at a segment, for instance, okay, or a line, you want to recognize that a line, for instance, that, okay, you see the two arrowheads at opposite ends, that means that the line is going forever in both directions. And if those points have name, if you know any 2 points that sit on the line, you could write it just like that and call it line AX. Now, the double arrow being the symbol for when you have a line and it runs forever, just like that. Whereas if you have just I'm just going to move that over a little bit. If you have something like this, where where it doesn't go forever past the points and it just stops here or whatever, okay? So like where this is a line, this would be considered a line segment because it has stopping points. And apologize again for bad writing from the stretch. So this would be a line segment, and that symbol would look like this. It would just be like an overbar on top of the endpoints of the two letters and stuff like that. So that's the symbolism for a line segment. And then for the things like this, where it starts from one point and it just goes forever from that point in only one direction. That's an example of what's called a ray. So like, for instance, over here, this one starts at C and it passes through point A and goes forever in that direction. That's an example of that piece right there is an example of what's called a ray, and that symbolism would look like this. It would be ray CA. Now it would be CA and not AC because the ray starts from point C and goes through A onward forever and ever. So in the line and the line segment, you could write these letters in either order and it still means the exact same thing. But you can't do that with a ray. A ray has to begin from the one end point that it has and pass forever through the second point in the setup there. So that's how the symbolism for that looks and things like that. So between those, where you talk about M with the measure of with an angle and knowing that this is the symbol for an angle and stuff like that. So the more you get those symbols and those notations out and stuff like that, it's helpful to be able to read a lot of mathematics faster, or from a geometry standpoint, a lot of geometric symbols and names and stuff like that. It's easier to read a lot of it faster that way. So try to get used to seeing the different symbols and knowing what's supposed to stand for what and things like that. So I hope that makes sense. And please, by all means, if you want to know about any other geometry, symbols or notations, please keep throwing them in there, and the rest of you watching too. Okay, leave comments or shoot emails or whatever it is that you want. Okay, so I hope that a lot of that makes sense there. Okay, so we got that. So that takes care of a little bit of basic geometry language and speak or whatever. Okay, now I want to see if I can get Brianna back in the room for a second, because she was in the middle of she had somebody trying to call her on her phone or whatever the case is. I hope she's settled everything that's going on there. But here, while she's getting in there, and here, Hans, I'll just make a note. If again, I cannot see what it is that you're chatting or whatever the case is. I will try to see. Hopefully, if Brandon comes back in the room here. Oh, here she comes. Oh no, it's you. Hi. Huh. My cutie wife Andrea has stepped in there. Oh, you could come on camera. You're fine. Stop. Come on. The world loves you. Ah. She's a one-man woman, ladies and gentlemen. So sorry. You can't have her. She's mine. I guess. Anyway, okay. Here, get Brianna. Somebody try to call her. That's why she ducked out of the room. Tell her come back up. I still need her. She can see the chat. I can't. Who knows? Yeah. Let me see if I can. Get in and look at everything that way. I don't even know what the address is for the for this for the thing today. I have to look it up one more time. So okay, so let me try this. I'll see if I can get around the problem here.
Okay.
Oh, okay, you're back now
Yes.
finally. Okay, yes,
Sorry.
good. Okay, are you back? Are you in the room so we can see so I can see what if our fellow has what happens? You don't want to know, folks.
You don't want to know.
All right, what is our friend saying? Why is that L and not LC? Okay, let me take a look there. Okay, yeah, again, I apologize. Like I said, Brianna can see what you're typing in there, Hans. I can't. All right, so let's see. Oh, why not AC? Why not AC? Okay, here, wait. Let me just show that one ray one more time and why it was the way it was. Because I had this, okay, and it doesn't. And here's the thing: array can go in any individual direction. So, because the key is that array has a starting point and it has some direction that it's passing in. So array can go in this.
Go like in this direction.
Right. Okay.
Or
and let's say
in this
okay.
direction, or in this direction.
Okay. But now notice in all of these setups here, for all of these, okay. So for all of these rays, I've written all of these rays, Hans, the same way. Okay. Notice that regardless of which direction any of these rays travel in, Hans, notice that they all start from the same one point. They all begin from point C. So knowing that C is the beginning point of the ray in all of these circumstances, that means when you name the ray, you would have to put the C first and then the A second, because then the symbolism for the ray and the arrow for the ray when you draw the notation for it always points to the right like this. And it's done in this way to indicate the ray starts here and passes through this along the way. So even when the ray is pointing to the left like this, it still begins from here, okay, and passes through A. So that's why no matter what, it has to be written like this. For it to be AC, A would have to be the starting point of the ray. So it would have to do this. A would have to be over here, and C would have to be over there in order for it to accomplish that. And then same same story again. If it's pointing to the left, A would have to be the end point of the ray and pass through C along the ray like that. That would be the circumstance in which you can call it this. Okay, so so you have to recognize that at all times. Okay, this is the end point of the ray. Where does it begin from? That's how you look at the name of the ray notation. Okay, so it always begins from here. Okay, yes. So always make a note. Start at the end point. That's what you want to. That's what we want to be able to do. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. I hope I've cleared up your confusion on that, or whatever the case is. Okay, so if you got more questions, yeah, keep shooting them out there. Okay, we'll keep a watch on it. While we're waiting, if you've got another question, I want to just do a little discrete discussion with Brianna here. Okay, let's okay. Here's what I want to ask you, Brianna. Okay, for just our discrete discussion, because I was doing this with some of my guys earlier or whatever. Okay, let's say here. Wait, name a couple of your friends. You got Maria, you got Gianna, and Elise. Okay, all right. So, and good, you're all four named different. Okay, so let's suppose. Okay, so you got Brianna, Maria, Gianna, and Elise. Okay. Okay, all right. Wait. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what I want you to see. Here's the discussion I want. Let's say that you guys, had some kind of like a whole bunch of of toys or bracelets or whatever other assorted valuables, or whatever you feel is valuable to you.
McDonald's.
Or who knows, whatever. Okay.
I don't know. Now, we all like McDonald's. I think.
Okay. All right. Well, over here. Okay, like I said, call whatever you want. All right, but now
we all like McDonald's.
Okay, all right, well, here. That's fine. All right, now follow this. Let's suppose that for that you had a whole bunch of whatever stuff it is, and you needed to split it up. Okay, between the burgers, the nuggets, the fries, any other sort of thing like that. Now, in splitting it up, what you want to make sure of is that everybody is getting as much as possible of what makes what's called an equal share. Okay. Now the thing is, if there are four of you, no, don't worry. I see. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Please, by all means. No, wait. The ray is CA. You need two letters to name a ray. Okay. You always have to name it by two rays, but the end point is the first letter of the ray. So you need to know 2 points on every ray. Where does it start and where does it pass through? Okay. So you don't just call it by one letter or another. You need two letters in every name. Okay. Does that let me know if that makes sense. Okay. So anyway, so here's what happens here. Okay. So now if you're trying to split everything Brianna, 4 equal ways. Now, what percentage then would you get if you got what you would consider to be an equal share?
Since there's 4 people of like.
Yeah. So here.
100%.
Okay, yeah. So what's 100 divided by 4?
25.
25. Okay. So that
would each get 25%.
Well, okay. Well, yeah. Well, that's what you're hoping. Okay. You would consider like I said, getting 25. What you consider to be 25% of the total value. You would consider 25% to be what is called fair share. Now, the thing is that okay. Now, in a setup like this, okay, one of the 4 of you has to be the person who has to, based on what you feel is more valuable than other things, you've got to be the one to decide how to break up everything. Okay. No. Now the point is though, now understand, the point is that let's say that you're the one splitting up all the food. Okay, just random. Now the idea is you want to make sure that you split up the food in such a way that no matter which of the 4 portions of food you end up with, you're guaranteed to get your fair share of 25%. You understand? Okay. So let's just say that. Okay, so 25%. So let's say share 1 of the food is 25%. in your eyes, share 2 is 25%, share 3 is 25%, and share 4 is 25%. Okay, so you got that. Now, you may feel that all of those are
Fair.
that all of the shares based on how you split it up are fair. But your friends might feel differently. They might think that the split has to be a little bit different. Like let's suppose, for
And
example,
we're not like trying to like
okay,
we're
so
not trying to be mean to like any of my friends when we say this. Like we're just like throwing out random stuff here.
okay, well, understand this could apply to any objects in reality that you want. Okay, it's the idea is you have a collection of valuables, and the point is that you're trying to split them up so everybody walks away happy with whatever piece of the pie that they ultimately claim for themselves. So let's say that these are her opinions about the 4 shares based on how you cut them. Now, for her, which ones of these shares would she consider to be fair? Because you need 25% at least for it to be a fair share. So which ones would she want to stake claim to?
Like one of these ones.
Right, exactly, because these are each either 25% or above. Okay, so that means she would want either this one or she would want this one. Okay, like I said, in your case, you would go after any of these 4. It doesn't matter which one of the 4 you end up with.
They're all equal.
Well, yeah, and you as the divider, okay, you as what's considered the divider in this problem set it up that way so that you could guarantee yourself 25%. All right.
No, it's
now,
because
okay, well, wait. Okay, now let's
so everyone gets the same amount of food.
What? No, wait. But understand, you're splitting it up in such a way that to you, all these are equal. It doesn't mean that they have the exact same quantity of food. It depends. Like you might consider chicken nuggets more valuable than hamburgers. You might consider French fries less valuable, whatever. So the idea is that you're divvying up the food pile in such a way that you feel that the total value of the food in each pile, even if they don't contain the exact same portions of food, are 25% of the total value of everything to yourself.
I picture like there are 4 drinks, there are 4 boxes of
nuggets,
there are 4 burgers,
right?
And obviously,
fries. No, I get you.
And then like each person gets a burger, a fry, chicken nuggets, and a drink.
No, I get you. And of course, yeah, in reality, of course, yeah, in a perfect world, everything, like if you've got the exact amount of everything like that, sure, that's all fine and good. But again, life doesn't always work out that way.
Someone might not
one,
want a drink, and then someone might want 2 drinks.
And again, you also, based on your own value system, if you think that something to yourself is, like I said, if you like nuggets more than you like hamburgers, for instance, or whatever, you might, for instance, go and say that you might wait a minute. So like you might have one pile that has more nuggets in it than the other ones. You might have one that has more burgers in it than the others, or
like me and Maria,
or more fries,
Maria,
or whatever.
She likes her burger, so we just decide, hey, do you want my burger? Sure. Do you want my chicken nuggets? And we just switch.
Right.
Like,
okay.
Oh no.
Okay, but again,
we just trade it because like we didn't even.
Okay, but the whole idea here is that like we're saying like you divvy up the piles in such a ways that maybe they have all different quantities of things in them, but you're still saying that when you look at everything when it's done, the total value of each pile is 25% monetarily of the whole thing. That's what we're looking at here in these. Okay, so which ones of the 4 shares would Gianna consider fair in this case?
25, 25, or 27.
Okay, any of these 3 would be fine to her. Okay.
And we're not saying this is what they think. This is just like an example.
Well, again, that's the whole point of what we call, like I said, that's what we call a value system. Okay. The whole premise here is that, all right. the whole premise behind this. Okay, so like 30% for Elise would be fine. This 27 would be okay, but this 20 and 21 would not. Okay, because they fall under her expectations. All right, so this is where everything lands and falls with each person. So after determining what everybody considers to be fair share, okay, the thing that remains now is that now the only thing that's left is okay, officially deciding who gets what share. Now it could be how you decide who chooses first. It could be by random draw. Like draw the name from the hat, and whoever's first gets their pick, or whatever the case is. If it could be helped, each person might want to try to go after, since everybody's got more than one belief about what they consider to be fair share. They may want to obviously go after the one they feel is the most value to them.
I like to pick all of them at least has a drink.
Okay,
like,
so
you can't
all right,
really,
so let's say, for instance, here. Okay, so let's say that Elise was drawn first randomly. If Elise was drawn randomly first, which share is she likely going to take for herself?
The 30.
Okay, which is share number 1. Okay, so this is a possible, again, this is what we call fair division, this whole process that we're looking at here.
And again, we're not throwing any shade or anything to these people.
No!
I don't know, it's because, like, we're saying these things and we don't know if they actually agree with this.
It's an example.
This is just an example. We're not trying to, like, say anything about these people.
You're the only one that's making this personal.
I don't know.
Oh, don't go that far. Okay, all right. So if Elise,
I don't want people to think that.
So if Elise gets the first straw, okay, so then she ends up with share. She would probably pick share number 1 because it's of the highest value to her.
Like, we're all very hungry.
Then let's say Maria got drawn next. Okay, so she would take share number 2.
It
Okay,
looks like this one's gone.
And so then that leaves Gianna. And now if you notice. Now, if you notice in Gianna's case, she wanted one of these 3 shares, but notice share 1 and share 2 have already been taken. So by default, which one would she take? What's the only one? Which is the only? Yeah, 3 is the only one left that she's got,
4.
And then you would take share 4, and then that's would be considered a fair division because everybody left with a portion that to them is at least 25% in value, so everybody left satisfied. That's the ultimate goal of any fair division game, to make sure that everybody. I see it. It's Durex.
Ow.
Okay. Everybody leaves with something that in their eyes is of at least equal value according to how many players there are and stuff like that. So that's the nature there. Oh, my Hans, my email is right up here, brian.sapinski@gmail.com. So yeah, you have any questions, please, if you want to, send people my way, yeah, please, by all means, yeah, just shoot it up there and stuff like that. Okay. And send me messages. Tell your friends. Leave us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button too. We really appreciate it because then you can know what it is that we're doing our next stuff here. So that'll be an example of a fair division game. Now, there's many different ways in which we could do fair division. We could do a fair division and be able to determine exactly how you decide who ends up with what shares or what properties or whatever the case is and stuff like that. We're not going to totally get too much into those different things, but you understand the general idea of what's there. Okay, well,
we're all very hungry.
Okay, and I hope that makes sense, Hans. This is one of the main things that I do in my discrete math and statistics course. Is this whole thing on fair division? If you want to see more on it, let me know. I might I'll hopefully try to make some videos about some of these discrete concepts one day or whatever. And if you look at some of our past live streams from these past 4 weeks, I've peppered each one of them with at least one discrete concept. So please, by all means,
all very hungry.
Have a look and find some things that are of interest to you.
We are all very hungry. We all were thinking of food.
Yes, I know.
Try to guess who's who.
I know. I still got my lunch here.
Try to guess who's who.
I cannot. Well, I know that's Maria because she's the only one that does the ponytail thing.
Braid. She likes
The braid. The braid. I'm sorry. The braid. Okay,
braids.
my fault. So yeah, so that's definitely Maria. I'm guessing that's you.
Which one?
This one.
This one?
No, this one. No, the second one here.
No.
That's not you.
No.
Wait, is that what's supposed to be you?
Yes.
Oh, that's you. Okay.
That's my braid.
Oh, it's your bangs. I see.
Yeah. I was trying to
So
make
that
it
okay,
simple.
and I don't see Gianna and Elise enough or whatever to know who's
Wait.
who. Like I said,
I
I don't know.
she-
I don't know which one of them has glasses. I don't remember.
So that's Elise and that's Gianna. Gianna has blue glasses, but like
Oh, I see.
she, like that's the only thing I can do to really push it.
Did you put any peanut butter on this?
I don't know.
It's just all the jam.
Jelly, a jelly sandwich.
Okay.
5 stars.
I'm doing old-fashioned PB and J for lunch, except the PB ain't here or whatever. It's just
a
the
jelly
jam.
sandwich.
God.
It's a jelly sandwich.
What did I do?
Do you have
folks?
a problem with jelly sandwiches?
I've never had a just jelly sandwich. It doesn't go. You need the peanut butter to make it work. And
Stop discriminating against jelly sandwiches.
Do any of you out there have just a jelly sandwich? Have any of you legitimately done that? Please, by all means, let me know. I'd be curious. And it's like I'm not even doing grape jelly, for instance. I'm actually not even a fan of grape jelly, to be honest with you. I lost the taste for it like years and years ago. Like going back to probably around your age or whatever. I lost the taste for grape jelly. I prefer primarily apple. I'm mainly an apple jelly kind of guy or whatever. My number 3 is doing strawberry jam. And then my number 2, which is what is on this right now only jelly sandwich, is actually sour cherry jam is what's on here. You could buy sour cherry jam at online at if you look up Stonewall Kitchen. They sell this, however. It's very good. I've had it for a long time. I really enjoy it. It's a nice tangy thing, and it does complement peanut butter better than you think. So that's the way that goes there. So anywho, all right.
Are we gonna have to show more of my stuff?
No, well, not right now. Not right this second here. Whatever. All right. Okay. All right.
I have this.
We gotta. Okay, well here, while I reset the board, you want to try to get some but who's multiplying revenge on me real quick while we still got a little bit? Okay, all right.
Can we show this?
Okay,
too?
here. You show that while I reset the board.
So like I think like last year so like last year, I think like the summer or something, like we had this group chat called the Roblox fam. Like we like all of us like played Roblox and stuff, so we decided to make a group chat and like something cool. You could also do a group FaceTime. So yeah, so I made this. This is like everyone who is in it. And Joey just bugged me to put him in. Like I'm like, he's just like, put me in. So yeah.
Let me in. Getting the Bray Wyatt up there.
Put me in.
Yeah. A WWE fans up there or whatever
No.
with the Fiend's Bray Wyatt.
So
Let me in.
So there we go. That's what it's supposed to be like.
Oh, you guys are fine. Relax.
So like this shows like everyone who is in it.
No,
and,
that's
like,
right. You can't do 40.
And then I made all our Roblox avatars. So like I made Joey's avatar, I made Gianna's avatar, I made Marlo's avatar, I made Ava's avatar, Kaylee's avatar, Camden's avatar, Aiden's avatar, and my avatar. But like the Roblox fans.
How about Aang's avatar?
Huh?
How about Aang's avatar?
Oh!
He is the last airbender, you know. I didn't get that in there. Sorry. Okay, all right.
Like, it took me a
All
while.
right, here. Okay, huh? You command the red this time, which means you go first. Okay, put the numbers there, and we'll get them circled on the board. Okay, best 2 out of 3. Okay, oh, that's right. I'm sorry. That's right. That's right. You have to place both numbers to begin with. Okay. All right. Or as a matter of fact, here, just write both numbers. Just put my number second, so that's the one I change. Okay. All right. So right and go.
2, 3, 6.
Okay, 6 red. Okay, take that. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba. And I will take 12. 12 blue.
Uh, 2, 8.
8 red. Circle it.
Gosh, I don't know what
Okay.
I'm doing.
Relax. Take your time. Take your time. Okay. Let's go 4. 4
No.
blue.
Gosh, what are you doing? Oh, good.
Remember, 3 in a row. 3 in a row is the name of the game. It doesn't matter what direction it goes.
12, 24.
No. You can't. No, it's 1 to 9. It's 1 to 9.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah, it's 1 to 9. Just be careful. Just
9, 18.
18 red. Okay, circle it.
There we go.
Okay, and okay, that was a good number to pick because I can't jump to 24 for that, so I gotta try something else.
Oh, good.
Okay, let's see.
I can't get my
How's
30.
about okay, 72. Okay,
Wait, do we have the time limit or we have?
we're still time limit.
Oh no.
You have 15 seconds.
2, 16.
16 red.
No. Oh wait, no, you can't, huh?
Oh jeez. 14. Take your time.
But I can't. There's a timer. 6:42.
42.
I don't know. No.
24. Ooh, okay, all right. No, it's fine. No, you did good. No, it was good. No, you were picking good numbers. No, just yeah. Eventually, at some point, just sometimes you might get a little bit caught. It happens that way. Or whatever. So.
Huh? Wait, no.
No, you had.
No.
I don't remember what we had last up there. So all right, okay, all right. So I got the first one there. But you see, it's a fun chess match. I mean, like I said, and all you gotta just know how to do to play this game, folks. All you have to know is just simply how to multiply. That's why the game is called. But who's multiplying? So that's what it's 0. Okay, all right. You lost the last one, so you start again real quick. Okay, so go ahead. Ready, go. Start wherever you like.
2 and 6.
Okay. 2, 6,
12.
12. Yes, don't call out the wrong things, otherwise that's a penalty here. Here, fix your circle there. Okay. Okay. How's about okay, I'll go for 8.
5.
20.
Oh no!
Okay.
You could do that. How's that 5?
Yeah, fix your 5
It
there.
looks like a backwards 2.
Okay. 15.
7. 21.
21 red.
Lord, I don't know what I'm doing.
No, you're doing fine. You're doing fine. It was a good pick. Okay, all right. 28. 28 for the block. Oh!
You gave me. Oh god, 32. That equals 32.
I fell in the trap.
8. Yay!
And she gets around. Yes! So there it is. There it is. There. Yeah. Yeah. No, I was looking at the 24 and I trapped myself. You know what I'm saying? Yes. I saw that, but no, that's right. The 32, I got caught as well. I was so worried about getting the block, and I couldn't get to the 1-3 for 3. So I was caught there.
Yes.
Ooh.
What?
Okay, that one I'll have to get back to you on that one, Hanzo. Ever? Actually, I'm not even sure I've heard of that carrot formulas. if you've got, do me a favor, send me an email on that one on exactly that. I need to see an example in front of me because by name, I'm not recognizing what you mean by that.
Is this the carrot
That, haha. See what you made her do?
See, look, it's a carrot formula. The carrot formula.
I don't quite think that's what he means.
Is that what you
you're
mean?
crazy.
Look, it's a carrot formula.
All right.
It's a little
All right.
bubble.
But yeah, please do me a favor. Please do me a favor, Hans. Yeah, I'm not totally sure what you mean by it. Yeah. Send me an email up there. Explain to me what exactly what that is,
I think
so
this
I have
is
an
a
idea.
carrot formula.
You stop.
No, I genuinely think that's a carrot.
No, there's
formula.
got to be something math speak in relation to what he's
How
talking
many
about.
carrots you put in the formula?
Enough. Come on. All right, we got time for one more round here because in this match we're tied up 1-1. So whoever gets this one wins. All right. So, but like I said, yeah, definitely send me an email about that. I'll try to look it up at the same time here. However, hit the subscribe so
Yes.
also so that you know when I'm doing my next live stream. It's gonna be on Tuesday. Again, 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time is my next live stream. If I can help it, I'll try to start with that topic because it'll give me a chance to take the next few days and look at it myself. But if you could send me an example of what you mean by that, or if anybody else watching knows what he means by carrot formulas, I'll not that.
And tell us if you think that this is a carrot formula, because obviously this is. Obviously, this is a carrot formula.
Just send me an email and hit that subscribe button, will you?
Yes, subscribe if you
All
think
right,
this is a carrot formula.
Final rounds. Here we go. Ready? Go. I'm gonna start with a 40.
2, 16.
16 red. Ooh, that was a good move because that takes me away from my 40 completely here. I'll just do this and go 18, block you this way.
3.
Good move.
27.
Smart move. I like that.
Huh?
No, that was a good move. Yeah, because
was?
because you linked your two. Okay, now I know what I can't do. So I will go 5 seconds. All right, 21. Oh, okay. I was like, yeah, I'm paying attention to my own book. I'm paying attention to my own line.
4, 28.
28 red. Oh, sorry. I wish you hadn't done that.
Oh no!
20. I gotcha.
I wasn't paying attention. I was like,
Yeah, I know.
Oh, no.
I know. The strategy to the game is that you got to see what the like
No, we only have 15 seconds.
Yeah. If you're fast enough, you got to think of what numbers your opponent needs on the board, and what multiplications they would need in order to make them work. So this way you know, like, okay, I can't make my number this or that because then I'll give them half of the one that they need to win and stuff like that. So it's very tricky. So it's a time bomb. Yes, put the little fuse on them.
That reminds me of a game on Roblox called Word Bomb, where you have like.
Well, any kind of time bomb, really.
Can I explain the game?
But
So like
I
the
don't
game
know.
is like
we're a little short on time there.
Insert player name.
Don't mind my son screaming down there.
Type.
If you could hear him.
Type. Oh, so like it basically says the player name and it says type a word with the letters. Give me 2 random letters. Give me 2 random letters.
O and Z.
So O-Z. So like that person would have to think of a word with O and Z next to each other. So like like next to each other before like the bomb explodes, and they like you have 2 hearts, and if both of your hearts are gone, you're out. And it's a really fun game.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So
Okay.
like
So
it was PS. ES. Oh my gosh. Like I could think of
well, here we'll think about it for another time because we got to get out of here for right now and stuff like that.
wait. Like I could just.
Okay. Here, Brant. Here.
Then I could just do and if coincidentally, and you gotta type the 2 letters too, or else it won't count.
Oh, you're just trying to make up words that have that letter block in them?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And if coincidentally the 2 letters are a word, you could just type in those 2 letters.
Oh, of course, naturally. That's the way that is. Okay. So
It's
all
a
right.
fun game.
Yeah, like I said, yeah. And believe me, a lot of these are good time passers, or especially in these trying times
Yes,
with us
like
all
Animal
being
Crossing.
associated. Well, you got to go clean
Yes.
your room and stuff like that,
Yes.
which I'm gonna go let her do while we sign
just-
off here, or whatever. And I got my own things to take care of, including hopefully trying to get some more videos prepared for the channel over this Easter weekend.
Jello.
They don't know. Shh, hush.
We talked about it once before.
I don't. Well,
Yes, we
who
did.
knows? Anyway, all right, but
Yes,
we
we
got to
did.
get out of here for now. But please, if you enjoyed what we were doing, please hit that subscribe button down there. Give us a thumbs up,
And
like I said,
and like
you said, Hans, please tell your friends. That's what we're here for. We want to help you guys.
And
we want to help everybody, and
gently
and
tap
so
the
on like
like
that.
button so you don't break it. Don't break any.
Okay, somebody's getting a
the
little too
buttons.
silly.
But seriously,
So, all
don't
right.
break any of the
Anyway,
buttons.
we'll be back we'll be
unfair.
back on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, Eastern Daylight Time. So please come and join us again if you want some more help. Throw some more topics. Send an email to us in the in between, or leave a comment down below if there's something more you want to see. And if you can help it, shoot an email and give me an example. If it's something like I said, especially the carrot formula thing, I still don't know exactly what you're talking about. So we'll try to, because I want to be able to explain it to you, but it'll be a little bit easier if I've got something in front of me there. All right. So
you want to know what this person is doing?
Yes, emailing me. Yes, I got it.
Shooting us an email.
I gotta get away from Camp Literal here.
Yes,
All right, we gotta go, folks. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Bye.
Have a good Easter, Passover, whatever it is that you observe or celebrate, or otherwise, just have a good weekend. We'll see you.
Bye.